Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we're gonna study lesson number 20. And like every lesson, we're gonna study the rules of the lesson first before we study the lesson itself. So this lesson is about al-masdarus sarihu wal-masdarul muawwalu. So the masdar muawwal we're gonna study here is actually of two types. So the first one is an plus fail mudare mansoob. So when we an plus fail mudare mansoob, this becomes a masdar. In other words, if we put fail mudare, if we put an before it, then an will make it mansoob, the particle that makes it mansoob. Then this verb will become a noun, a masdar. Okay, let's get started. Hal darastal masdara. Have you studied masdar? Naam, yes. Fama huwa al masdaru. So what is the masdar? Huwa al ismu min al faili. Al failu biduni zamanin. So a masdar is actually ism, a noun from the verb, which if we make a noun from the verb, then it is called a masdar. For example, to play is a verb, but if we say playing is the noun and it is coming from the verb. So in other words, masdar is the a noun without the time. So if we take the time out of the verb, then it becomes a masdar. فَكَيْفَ نُسُوبُ الْمَصْدَرَ مِنَ الْفِعْلِ. How we form a masdar from the verb. درسنا أن المصدر من الفعل المجرد ليس له قواعد ونعرفه من القاموس فقط. We have studied that all the mujarrad verb, for the case of all the mujarrad verbs, like form 1, the masdar, there is no set pattern, there is no fixed pattern of the masdar, and we will only come to know about it from the dictionary. And wal masdara min al fail al mazid, and for the case of fail mazid, where we have addition of from the addition to the 3-letter verbs, yakunu hasaba kulli waznin min al awzani. Then we have studied in the previous lesson that every verb form has its own pattern. This is what we studied here last time. So if we want to make a masdar from form 2, the pattern is taf'ilun. So the verb is fa'ala yufa'ilu, masdar is taf'ilun. Form 3, fa'ala yufa'ilu, masdar is on the pattern of fi'alun or mufa'ilatun. For the case of form 4, which is af'ala yufilu, masdar is going to be on the pattern of if'alun. For the case of form 5, tafa'ala yatafa'alu, masdar is going to be on the pattern of tafa'ulun. For the case of form 6, tafa'ala yatafa'alu, masdar is on the pattern of tafa'ulun. For form 7, in fa'ala yanfa'ilu, masdar is going to be on the pattern of infi'alun. Form 8, if ta'ala yafta'ilu, masdar is going to be on the pattern of ifti'alun. Form 9, if Allah yaf'alu, masdar is on the pattern of if'ilalun. And for form 10, istaf'ala yastaf'ilu, masdar is on the pattern of istif'alun. So we have the set patterns or fixed patterns for the fail mazid, form 2 to form 10. So this is this we have already studied. Hasanan, good. Kana haza huwal masdarus sarihu. So all these all these masdar, they are called masdarul sarihu. These are the explicit masdar. Walakin yujadu fil lughat al-arabiyya, but Noun akharu min al masadiri, another kind of masdar is found in the Arabic language. Wahaza ma nadrusuhu al-ana, and this is what we're gonna study now. So there is going to be the masdar that we just talked about is called masdar sarihu, explicit masdar, explicit source, and the other kind we're going to study now. Before we study it, there are some examples. Karrarar qaidu Joharasakaliyu an yabniya asimatan. So this is from the main lesson we're going to study after. So this lesson is about Cairo. So the leader, Al-Qaidu, the leader decided, the name of the leader is Joharasakaliyu. This leader, he decided to build a capital, Asima. So here we have some verbs. Karra yakirru, to decide, from karrara yakirru, fa'ala yufa'ilu. So this is karrara yukarriru, yukarriru, form to decide. Karara yukarriru on the pattern of fa'ala yufa'ilu, and the masdar we just studied this on the pattern of taf'ilun. So ism file is from this verb is mukarrirun, ism maf'ul is mukarrarun, and masdar is takrirun on the pattern of taf'ilun. And al-qaidu, so this comes from the verb qada yakudu, to lead, form 1, and ism file for form 1 is on the pattern of fa'ilun, so is like qaidun. And bana yabni, to build. Asima is coming from the verb asama yasimu, to protect, form 1 again, and ism file is asimun ala wazni on the pattern of fa'ilun. So we're gonna study this, that I have put a rectangle here. So the leader Joharasakaliyu, he decided to build a capital. Iza aratta, and when you want, antarifa tarikh al-Kahira, to know the history of Cairo, fala buddha min an tamurra ala jazirataini, then you must pass by the two islands. Wala natrukul kahirata, and you don't, and we and natruka, so this is verb taraka yatruku. So here is verb yatruku, and for nahnu is natruku, and we will not leave Cairo before an-nakziya, before spending sa'atin, hours, fi layliha, in the night, al-muzi, in the illuminated nights. So this muzi comes from the verb azza yuziu, to light up, illuminate, and this is form 4 verb. Afala yufilu, and ism file is muziyun, the thing, the which is illuminated. So we will not leave Cairo before spending hours in the illuminated lights, in the illuminated layliha, in the nights, in the illuminated, in its illuminated nights. So ha refers to Cairo, and this is feminine, so that is why is ha is used here. Fal afzalu, and the best is an tushahid al kahirata fil layli, to visit Cairo in the night. So these statements, they don't make sense because they are taken from the main lesson. So but just ignoring that fact, now we're gonna find out what are these words which I have put a rectangle or squares on. Asharhu, the explanation. Fil amsilati, In this example, nara fe'lan mudari'an sabaku harfu nasbin. We see that there is a fail mudare. So there is all these yabni, tarifa, tamurra, nakziya, nushahida. They are all fail mudare mansub because of an. Sabaku harfun nasbin huwa an. Ma wazifatu an. What is the function of an? Kulna innaha tansibul fail al mudare. We studied that this is the particle which makes fail mudare mansub. Wa tajalu fail al mudare ba'daha biduni zamanin. And then it makes fail mudare without the fail mudare after without the time. So it takes away the time and it makes it majzoom, mansoob. ولكننا درسنا أن الفعل بدون زمان هو المصدر. But we studied that any verb without the time is called masdar. Naam, yes, fakana haza huwa al-masdar sarihu. So then this is masdar sari, explicit source. Wal mawjudu, and naam, and wakana, and that was the one we studied. Masdar was masdar sari. Wal mawjudu fil amsilati noun jadidun. The masdar that is present in this example is a noun jadidun, is of new kind, min al masdari, from masdar. Ismuhu is masdarul muawwal. So this type of masdar is called masdar muawwal. So when we make masdar like this from the verb by adding an, then this masdar is called masdar muawwal. فما الفرق بين المصدر الصريح والمصدر المؤول? What is the difference between the explicit masdar and the masdar muawwal, which is interpreted masdar? So here I have some explanation. So the masdar as-sarihu, the explicit masdar, they both mean the same thing. For example, just consider that as-sarihu masdar, as-sarihu is number 5. The masdar muawwal is like saying 2 plus 3, which is still equal to 5. So they both mean the same thing, but they written, our masdar muawwal is interpreted differently, but they both mean the same thing. So this is 5, this is also 2 plus 3 is also 5. Here is an example. Kara yakra'u means form 1, to read, and the masdar, this form 1 masdar is kira'atun, which is called reading. And when we say reading, that has no time. So like we said, that masdar takes away the time. So this is the noun without time. So reading. Now this kira'atun is the masdar as-sarihu. And if we make a sentence out of this, uhibbul kira'ata, I love reading. So reading is the masdar. Here al kira'atu is explicit noun, written textually, written in the text. Now if we say uhibbu an akra, I love to read. So, or I love reading, I love to read. An akra is masdar muawwal, is like this. So is interpreted as a masdar like 2 plus 3, but is still mean the same thing. I love to read or I love reading. Here an akra interprets as a noun al kira'ata without writing it textually. So we have not written is like a masdar al kira'ata, the real masdar, but we have written the same masdar like an akra. So al masdar sari. Now why we have to make a masdar muawwal when we have masdar sari? Why we can't use this masdar kiraat al kiratu? Why we can't use this masdar kiraatun? Why we have to use an akra? So this masdar Qira'atun is like a general reading, like I love reading, but the book might be in the shelf. Means when we're gonna say what is your hobby, we can say my hobby is reading. But for the case of Masdar Muawwal, this is more like because this is coming from the verb. I mean the verb is used itself, so this is more descriptive, active. So if somebody says what are you doing tonight, somebody can say I will be reading. So because I love to read, so then I am will be in the, so that means we are now saying the action of reading. Or if say I am holding a book or turning pages and I tell somebody I love to read, so that means I am in the action of reading. So in other words, Masdar Muawwal is more directive, more active, and this Masdar Sri is more general. So that is the difference between the two Masdar. So what I have explained here is written here. Al-Masdaru Srihu huwa al-Masdaru is the Masdar allazi naquluhu fil jumlati nassan, that tells us in the sentence. Nassan means textually, which is written textually. Wal Masdar Muawwal nahnu la naqulu fil jumlati masdaran, that does not say in the sentence as a masdar textually, walakinnaka tafhamuhu min al-mana, but we understand it from the meaning. So this Masdar Sri is written as a masdar textually, when Masdar Muawwal is not written in textually, but we understand it from the meaning. Here is an example. Faiza kulna, so when we say uridu darasata, I want to study. Uridu darasata, I want studying. So darasa yadrusu, darasa is the Masdar Sari. And Vaiza kulna, and when we say uridu an adrusa, I want to study, I want studying, I want to study. For haza Masdar Muawwal, so this is an adrusa is Masdar Muawwal. Textually, this is written textually and this is not, but they both mean the same thing. I want studying or I want to study. For haza Masdar Muawwal, so this is Masdar Muawwal. Liannaha tawil al-jumla, because it interprets the sentence. This interprets the sentence as uridu darasata. So the interpretation of this sentence is same as this sentence. I want studying or I want to study. The interpretation is same, but this is Masdar Sari and this is Masdar Muawwal. فَكَيْفَ نَعْرِفُ الْمَصْدَرَ مُؤَوَّلَ, how we form Masdar Muawwal. Fil amsilati sabikati, in the previous example, yatakawwanul masdarul muawwalu, Masdar Muawwal is formed from an plus fail mudare mansoob. So this is the structure of Masdar Muawwal. Wa hal kullu an plus fail mudare mansoob Masdar Muawwal, is every thing, like all the fail mudare mansoob plus an, all, if like every verb with in mansoob form plus an is Masdar Muawwal? Naam, yes. For an plus fail mudare mansoob huwa daiman masdarun muawwalun. So this structure is always gonna be called Masdar Muawwal. Darasna anna al-masdara fi jumlati yakunu fi ayyi wazifatin. So when we studied Masdar, we said that Masdar can be in any function. For example, it can be mubtada, khabar, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, or it can come after harfu jar. So now question is Masdar Muawwal gonna behave the same way? Fahal yakunu masdarul muawwalu kazalika, is it gonna act the same way? Naam, yes. Famasalan nara fil amsilati sabikati al Masdar Muawwal. So now we're gonna say that how we're gonna use Masdar Muawwal as mubtada, khabar, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, etc. Number one, the use of masdar muawwal as maf'ul bihi, or how we can use this as a maf'ul bihi. In this example, so this the example that we studied, karral qaidu juhur sakliyu an yabniya asima. In this sentence, an yabniya is masdar muawwal. So now if we interpret this sentence using the masdar sari, what we gonna say? Karral qaidu johar sakliyu, the leader Johar Sakli, he decided Bana Asimatin, he decided building the capital. So now Bana Yabni, the regular masdar is Banaun, so Bana Asimatin is so Bana here is maf'ul bihi. What he decided? He decided to build a capital. So Bana is maf'ul bihi. So now when we use masdar muawwal, then an yabna is maf'ul bihi also. So we're gonna say maf'ul bihi mansubun fi mahalli nasbin. Fil hazihil jumlatil masdaru sarihu. So in the case of masdar sari, bana maf'ul bihi mansub. So this is maf'ul bihi mansub. Fayakunu masdar muawwalu. So the masdar muawwal becomes an yabna, this yabniya, fi mahalli nasbin maf'ul bihi. So this is also maf'ul bihi fi mahalli nasbin. So here this masdar muawwal is used as maf'ul bihi fi mahalli nasbin. Now take this example. Fala budda min an tamurra ala jazirataini. So you must pass by the two islands. So now an tamurra is masdar muawwal. Now if we change this to regular masdar, the interpretation is Tabilul Jumlati is Fala Buddha min al Maruri ala Jazirataini. So you must be passing by the two islands. So now is like saying al Marur, the masdar, Marra Yamurru, and Marur is the masdar. Masdar sari. So fil hazi jumlati al masdar sarihu al marur majrurun ba'da min is majrur after min. Fayakunu masdar muawwal an tamurra fi mahalli jarrin ba'da min. So although because this is masdar muawwal, we can't see the haraka, so we gonna this an tamurra is gonna be masdar muawwal and is gonna be majrur fi mahalli jarrin in place of jar ba'da min. And the third one is masdar muawwal as coming as fi mahalli jar mudaf alayhi. Fala natrukul kahirata qabla, and we shouldn't leave Cairo qabla before spending hours in the in its illuminated nights. So here an-nakziya is masdar muawwal. So tabilul jumla. So this is the interpretation of this sentence is wala natrukul kahirata. We should not leave qabla qaza'i sa'atin. So is an-nakziya is like saying like in the case of masdar sari, like qabla qaza'i sa'atin. So qaza'in is majrur because this is mudaf alayhi. Qabla qada'in sa'atin fi layliha al-muzii fil hazihi jumlati al-masdar as-sari qaza. This masdar sari is mudaf alayhi majrur because is qabla is coming after qabla. So fayakunu al-masdar al-muawwalu. So then masdar muawwal an-nakziya, we're gonna say that this is majrur fi mahalli jarrin in place of jar, and this is mudaf alayhi. Now the same thing, now masdar as a khabar. Fal afzalu an tushahid al kahirata fil layli, and the best is that you watch Cairo in the night. So the interpretation of this sentence is like saying Al-afzalu, the best is mushahidatul kahirati, of watching Cairo, the watching of Cairo fil layli, in the night, that is the best. So antushahida is like saying mushahadatun, and this is the masdar sari. Fil hazil jumlati masdar sari mushahadatun, and in mushahadatun is the khabar in this sentence. So this is mubtada and this is khabar marfu. So then antushahida we're gonna say is masdar muawwal and is marfu fi mahalli rafin khabar. This is how we're gonna say that. So in other words, masdar muawwal can have all these functions, but we won't see those haraka of rafa nasab jar. So then we're gonna say fi mahalli rafin nasbin or jarrin. Okay, so this is the summary of masdar muawwal. Masdar muawwal yatakawwanu min an plus fi'l mudari mansub is formed from an plus fi'l mudari mansub lahu nafsu manal masdari, and it has the same meaning as the masdar sari, wa nafsu wazifatil masdari sari, and it has the same meaning and same function as the masdar sari, just like we have studied here. So it can have the same meaning and the same function. Now kaifa nuhabbilu al-masdar al-muawwal ila masdar sari. So now how we can change the masdar muawwal back to masdar sari? That's the question. Innal masdar al-muawwalu yatakawwanu min an plus fi'l mudari. The masdar muawwal is formed from an plus fi'l mudari. For hazal fi'lu, so this fi'l rubbama yakunu mal maf'ul bihi wa rubbama yakunu biduni maf'ul bihi. So this fi'l mudari, it can have a maf'ul bihi or it may not have a maf'ul bihi. Faiza kana fi'lu mudari mansub ba'da an biduni maf'ul bihi. So when it does not have a maf'ul bihi, naktu jumlata marratan saniya bi istikhdamil masdari srihi marifan bi al. So we can better understand this statement with this example. So here are two sentences, and they have masdar muawwal, like uridu an akra, I want to read, and the other, so this does not have a maf'ul bihi. What I would want to read, I don't know. I want to read. Uridu. Now the second sentence is uridu an akra kitaban, I want to read a book. So in the first case there is no maf'ul bihi, and the second example there is a maf'ul bihi kitaban. Okay, so now when it does not have a maf'ul bihi in the first case, so what we gonna do, how we gonna change this back to masdar sari? What we gonna do? Faiz kan al fi'l mudari mansub ba'da an biduni maf'ul bihi, when it doesn't have a maf'ul bihi, naktubu jumlata marratan saniyatan, we write the sentence again bi istikhdamil masdari sari mu'arrafan bi al. So then we write the same sentence, we just replace this with the masdar sari, but we have to use al with it, just like uridu an akra. I can change this masdar muawwal an akra back to the regular masdar kirata, but with using al. So in other words, uridu an akra, I want to read, or I can say uridul kirata, I want reading, I want reading. So an akra is replaced with al kirata. Kirata is the masdar sari and al is used. So that is the first case when there is no maf'ul bihi. Waiskan al fi'lul mudari mansub ba'da an ma maf'ul bihi, when it comes with the maf'ul bihi, like in this case kitaban. So what we gonna do here? Naktubu jumla marra saniyatan bistikhdamil masdari sari mudafan biduni al. So then we use the regular masdar as mudaf, and mudaf cannot have al. So then we can change this back to masdar sari. We can say uridu qira'ata kitabin, I want reading a book. So now this was al kirata with the al, and this one is kirata kitabin. This used as mudaf, and mudaf cannot have al. So this is how we can change the masdar muawwal to masdar sari. So we have now the examples here. Karrar al-Qaidu, we have studied this, that the leader Johar Sakaliyu, he decided to build capital. So now what the leader decided? To build a capital. So we see that Yabna and Yabna Asima, building the capital. So we have a maful bihi here. And in this sentence, we don't have a maful bihi. Fala buddha min an tamurra ala jazirataini, and you must pass by the two islands. So here we don't see the maful bihi. Here we have the maful bihi. So yumkinu an naktuba hataini jumlataini maratan ukhra hakada. So it is possible to write both these sentences another time like this. For this one that has a maful bihi, so we're gonna say karra al-qaidu johra sakliyu. So an yubna, we can just change this to as bina, because this gonna be mudaf lay, bina asimatin. So with this it won't have al, so it's gonna be bina asimatin, building of the capital. Fala buddha min al maruri ala jazirataini. And this one we can just use antamurra, replace this with the masdar and with the al. So antamurra is like al marur. Fala buddha min al maruri is must to pass by ala jazirataini, these two islands. So in other words, the example that I have shown here, the same way, these two examples, they explain the same concept. Fal haza kanun, is this kanun, is this a law? Like, is this happens all the time? Laysa daiman, not always, walakinnahu yakunu galiban, but mostly this is how it is. Okay, so now the second type of masdar muawwal, anna plus ismuha wa khabruha. So when we have anna plus ismuha wa khabruha, then is also a kind of masdar muawwal. Hal darasta al hurufun nasikha, have you studied the hurufun nasikha? Naam, yes. Isn't darasta harufun nasikha anna? Then in that case, have you studied harfun nasikha, the anna, inna, anna, anna, sisters of inna? So we have studied that. Naam, yes. Ma maana anna, what does it mean by anna? So anna is anna means that. So this is the example. Araftu annal ilma nurun, I knew that the knowledge is light. So araftu is one sentence. Anna, it means that. It's connecting this sentence with another sentence, jumla ismiya, al alam nur, and ismu inna, the al alama is mansub, and nurun is khabru inna and is marfu. So the anna, what anna does, it connects jumla ismiya wa jumla qablaha, connects jumla ismiya with the jumla before it, just like we are seeing here. Haza laysa kulli shayin, but this is not everything. Fahiya tamalu masdar muawwal kama sanara fil amsilat al kadima. The new thing is that it works as a masdar muawwal, like we see in the following examples. Here are some examples. Fa'lam annaka tataharraku, know that you are moving. So here I have put a circle here. So tataharraka comes from the verb taharraka yataharraku, form 5. To move, masdar is taharrukun. means movement. Ala wazni tafa'ulun. Form 5 masdar is on this pattern tafa'ulun. Taharrak yataharraku masdar is taharrukun. Okay, so the next one is fayuhka anna johar as-sakaliya ikhtalafa ma zubatihi. So it is narrated that Johar Sakali, he disagreed with his officers, Zubatihi, with his officers. So here the verb is haka yahki, to narrate. This is form 1, and in the passive form haka yahki, haka changes to hukiya, yahki changes to yuhka. So this is used as in the passive form. It is narrated. Yuhka means it is narrated. Hukiya, it was narrated. So, and hakin is ism file. Muhkiyun is ism maful, and hikayatun means narration or a story is masdar. So this is form 1, and ikhtalafa yakhtalifu, form 8. To disagree, bal masdar is ikhtilafun, disagreement, ala wazni iftialun. This we know. Okay, so for akhbaruhu, so they informed him bi annahu sakrun, that it is a hawk. So a hawk is a bird. So this comes in the lesson. They had a disagreement to when they were naming the city. So then they come up with some idea which we're going to study in the lesson. So they inform him that it is a hawk. Okay, the explanation of these examples. Fa'lam annaka tataharraku. Know that. So know that you are moving. Hal yumkinu tawila hazi jumlata bi masdar sari. Is it possible to interpret this sentence with masdar sari, like in the regular form of masdar? Naam, yes. Yumkinu, it is possible. An nakula, to say, that we say fa'lam taharrukaka. So just like when I said that the masdar of this verb form 5 is on the pattern of taharrukun. So if we use this fa'lam taharruka, because this is verb, so this is maful bihi, so is taharrukun, is taharruka, and ka is your movement. So know your movement. So we can change this sentence replace this with the masdar sari as falam taharrukaka, know your movement. Isn't in this case fa anna plus ismaha wa khabraha is masdar muawwal. Innaka, so then when we can replace this with the masdar sari, so then that means this is masdar muawwal. Here we have anna plus ka is ismu anna, and this tataharraku, this jumla is khabru anna. So then fa plus anna, so then isn't in this case anna plus ismaha wa khabraha masdar muawwal. So then this is masdar muawwal. That is a question. Naam, yes. Hal yakunu haza daiman, it is like this always? Naam, yes. Hal yakunu fi ayyi wazifatin misl masdar. No, the question is that just like the masdar muawwal an plus fail mudari mansoob, that it can has any function of it can come as a khabar, or like we studied above with it comes as a mansoob, marfu or majroor. Then it works the same way. That is the question. Naam, yes. And we can see here. So al masdar muawwal annaka tataharraku. So this coming as a maf'ul bihi, because this gives answer to what to know. So this is coming as maf'ul bihi, so this is mansoob. So al masdar muawwalu annaka tataharraku fi mahalli nasbin maf'ul bihi, And when we in the second example, this one, that it is narrated that Johar Sakli, he disagreed Ma Zubati with this officer. So in this sentence, al masdar muawwal, so this is the masdar muawwal, anna plus, so Johar Sakli, this is the name, this is Johara ismu anna, and ikhtalafa, this is khabru anna. So this anna plus ismu anna wa khabru anna, this whole thing is masdar muawwal and is fi mahalli rafin naib file. This is naib file because, like I said, this is passive form of the verb. So this is the disagreement of Johar Sakli that is narrated. So this is the naib file for this passive form verb. So then naib file is marfu. So then masdar muawwal, this masdar muawwal is fi mahalli rafin, is in place of rafa, naib file. And then the third example, inform them of with B. So this is coming after harfu jar ba. So then this masdar muawwal is majroor fi mahalli jarrin ba'da B. So al masdar muawwal annahu sakrun fi mahalli jarrin ba'da B. So it acts the same way. Maza nafam min haza. So this is the summary of both kind of masdar muawwal. Kad yatakawwanu min an plus fail mudare. So this masdar muawwal may be formed from an plus fail mudare. This is one form of masdar muawwal, or anna wa ismiha wa khabriha, or we can make masdar muawwal also using anna plus ismu anna and khabru anna. So these are two different we can say shapes of masdar muawwal. Lahu nafsu manal masdari sari. It has the same meaning as the masdar sari. It can be interpreted into the same meaning of masdar sari, and they also have the same nafs wazifat al masdari sari, and has the same function of the masdar sari. So this is the two-line summary of what we have studied so far. That is the only topic of this lesson. So next time, in the next session, we're going to study the main lesson, and then I think in the third session we're going to do the exercises. So that is end of today's lesson. So I'm going to stop it here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.